This is called the Pyramid of the Magician, sometimes called the Pyramid of the Dwarf. There are legends that a magician or a dwarf, depending upon the legend, built this pyramid overnight. It is unique in that it has these rounded sides all around. There's nothing else like this really in the Yucatan. It has what's known as the steepest staircase up to that top level temple. Wow. Probably roped off. We'll go up and see. You can see the designs, the latticework mat designs across it, which are a symbol of authority to the Maya. And there are various levels of temples, each built on top of each other over a long time. And there's a main temple right up there that you enter, and supposedly there are two columns on either side and you go in. But again, there are legends about the dwarf. One is that he was the creator or the founder of Uxmal. Another is that he challenged the king of Uxmal to a contest to see who could rule it. And the challenge was to take these bags of this heavy fruit, nut-like fruit, and crack them on your head. And so the dwarf's mother fashioned a plate he would put on his head to protect his head, unbeknownst to the king. So they had the competition. The king tried to crack the thing, a big bag of nuts or fruit on his head, and he cracked his skull and died. The dwarf hit his head, and a plate protected his head, and he survived and became the king of Uxmal. The question is, what kind of plate, according to the legend, would it have been that could have protected his head? I just kind of wonder about that. If it's possible that it could have been a metallic plate.
So this is Uxmal, and there's the rounded corners. More the rain god stuff. But here is, just to get an idea how steep those steps are.
You can imagine half the rubble. And there's one right at where there's like a bit of a level. One right there. Again, there's the latticework and that. You know, the light show here again, I guess. Yeah, they do the light show here. The buildings that we see here were built from between 700 AD and 1000 AD. Mm-hmm. It's thought that perhaps it was occupied as early as 800 BC. Again, you see all the building is from a later construction.
It's kind of a view through the arch.
This is called the Nunnery Quadrangle, named by the Spanish because again they thought it looked more like a convent. It's thought it was more likely a royal palace. This is a very fine example of Pook architecture. You will see the small false columns along there. You see a lot of detail in this region, all along the facade, cut stones. All along here, you'll see the chalk on the corners, and the chalk hanging out. And kind of this pinkish, orangish colored stone, which is indicative of this region. So this is what the Pook architecture looks like. It's very geometrical, very, very covered, very highly designed.
This one's pretty preserved, Dan.
Yeah, this one seems like better condition than Uxmal even.
This is a representation of a Mayan hut, where a typical person would live, with a thatched roof, and a hut right there. So that's what that is. You'll see that in this region as well. This is a nice example of Mayan glyphs, of Mayan writing.
How old is this, you think?
This will probably be 900 AD, something like that. And the first things that they were able to decipher about the Mayan writing was the Mayan dates. The Mayans have an incredibly detailed system of dates. And so there are a lot of date descriptions here. I think some of the dates are in the 900 AD in this area. But this is a nice depiction here. It's getting weathered, you can see, and they don't have it protected, which is very sad. Masks of chalk right there. And between them is a row of flowers, and you see the star on the end, which is very interesting.
You can see all this over here.
Look at this, it's gorgeous. It's weird.
Isn't this cool?
Oh, there your picture is of that one.
Yeah, so we're going to head over that way now.
This is the ball court. That game they played.
House of the Governor. It's believed it's actually an observatory, and kind of like the one at Chichen, it's built upon an artificial foundation. The place what you're standing on is actually man-made as well. And so there are various doorways aligned to celestial events throughout the year.
What's that building over there? Do you know?
That's the House of the Turtles.
Oh,
We should go look at that one.
okay. I just noticed over.
Should we hike up this and then go?
Oh, there's another mound. It's just hasn't been excavated.
This is the two-headed jaguar, very famous as being part of Uxmal. Jaguar actually was a symbol used a lot among the rulers, and it even dates back up to northern Mexico. This one I believe is unique, the two-headed jaguar. It may have represented shared power, but just out here wasting away in elements, not covered up.
So this kind of represents the central tree they believe in, that kind of like Norse, or the root to the underworld, and the canopy is the overworld.
There are three sections. In the middle section in the center you can see the ruler sitting in a throne, a very elaborate plumed headdress up on top. You see the symbols of authority around him, the lattice-like mat design. And the serpentine elements, the serpent going all the way across the top. So this is really one of the most ornate examples of this type of architecture. What I think is interesting are the arrowhead shaped doorways over there. I think just on that side. I haven't seen one like that any other place. So this probably was an observatory.
Kind of a nice shot.
Where is it? The house of the turtles. The turtles are a symbol of rain. Also, they have something to do with the underworld as well. And so apparently every turtle is different as they go all the way around. So you see them on the band there. So the turtle was an important symbol here in Yucatán.
Ya estamos sacando gente.
¿Qué hora es?
Son las 5 para las 5, a las 10 para las 5 empezamos a sacar gente.